What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my DC Extended Universe movie series review, and in this review, I am reviewing the second DCEU film, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is directed by Zack Snyder and stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and a bunch of other actors. So this film was released in March 2016 and made about $873,260,000 worldwide, making it the 7th highest grossing movie of 2016. So in Batman v Superman, it's been about 2 years since the events of Man of Steel when Superman and Zod fought in Metropolis, and Bruce Wayne, or Batman, is set out to destroy Superman because many people he loved and many other innocent people died that day thanks to Superman and Zod's fight. So the movie opens up with Zod and Superman's fight in Metropolis from Man of Steel, but it's told from Bruce Wayne's perspective. We see all the innocent people and people Bruce Wayne cared for that are all dead due to the destruction. Bruce looks up to the sky seeing Superman and Zod fight, and you can just see in his eyes that he's just ready to kick Superman's ass. I just love the shot of him looking up. It's just like so badass and just cool. So I actually like how they acknowledge Superman's killing from Man of Steel, and I like how we see this entire, fight from a whole new and different perspective. Sure, it would have been better if Superman and Batman, fought in this movie because of their different personalities, which is what it should have been. But, since Man of Steel basically turned Superman into Batman, that wouldn't work, and this is definitely the best way to get Bruce Wayne to hate on Superman. So this entire opening is actually a pretty good start to the movie, and it already gets me on Team Batman. With much controversy on Superman, we think we might find out why Superman hates Batman. I guess Superman hates Batman's form of justice, or something? But yeah, the motivation for Superman not liking Batman is just so vague and, hypocritical, and it's just not clear at all in this film, and I think Superman's motivations are they're just so vague, and it's not clear, and his motivations are just pretty bad. I completely understand why Batman hates Superman, but, why exactly does Superman, actually hate Batman so much? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's one of the issues with Superman in this movie. He just doesn't. His motivations are just so vague. We do get a taste of Bruce Wayne's life, and it's pretty damn awesome. All the Bruce Wayne Batman scenes in this movie are just easily the best parts. Bruce Wayne is amazing. Alfred is great. The Batcave looks amazing, and I love how it looks in this film. It just looks so awesome. So yeah, all the Bruce Wayne Batman scenes are just incredible, and I'll talk more about my thoughts on Batman in a bit. So Bruce Wayne meets Diana Prince and Clark Kent at Lex Luthor's party called LexCorp. So Clark and Bruce argue about their heroes, Batman and Superman, and they have this huge, awesome debate over that. Bruce's motivations are amazing, and I just completely understand why he hates Superman, but, Clark Kent, aka Superman's, is just lame in this film. As I said, it's just vague and lame. His motivations just suck, and, once again, Superman in this film is just this boring, bland, depressing Superman. So yeah, Superman does go to rescue people. People view him as a god. I also just hate that part of Superman in the new movies. I hate how he's portrayed as a god. Superman should not be a god. Superman should just be a man trying to do the right thing, like in the Christopher Reeve films. So yeah, the god thing in the new films are just so dumb. I just really hate that part of it. So, there's some stupid post-apocalyptic dream sequences with Batman, and yeah, the dream sequences are just not good. The movie just tries to just set up future movies, and it just gets really annoying because it's not focusing on its own movie, it's just trying to set up future movies. So I think those dream sequences are, pretty dumb. Batman breaks into LexCorp and steals kryptonite, planning to use it to battle Superman. And the whole Batman prep in this movie is just really well done. So yeah, my thoughts on Batman in this movie. He's freaking amazing. Ben Affleck does an incredible job as Bruce Wayne and Batman. He just fits the character so well. I like his voice, his motivations are amazing. However, I do have one problem with it, and that is that he kills. Batman kills. Having Batman kills is just such a foolish idea. And it just completely ruins the moral code of Batman. Batman like his moral code is to, not be a criminal, not kill. But in this movie, he just kills people. Like, I mean, if they would have acknowledged his killing and he had like a reason for it and he had to, like rise above it or something, I would have bought into that. Like, I actually would have bought into that. But they don't even acknowledge his killing in this movie, which just annoys me because it just feels like they're just like Batman's like it's not even Batman. It's just I don't know. I really don't like that part of it. But other than that, I mean, Batman's just freaking amazing in this film. So yeah, I like the Batmobile chase. And it's really well filmed action, but again, he kills people. So Lex Luthor kidnaps Superman's mom and reveals that he, manipulated the whole Superman Batman thing and kind of manipulated them to hate on each other. So yeah, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is a pretty bad villain in this movie. Jesse Eisenberg's performance is more suited for the Riddler, if anything. He just does not fit Lex Luthor. He is not Lex Luthor. It's just, like, I can't believe, like, he's Lex Luthor in this film. And I know apparently he's Lex Luthor Jr. or whatever, but they don't really acknowledge that he's Lex Luthor Jr. in this film. He plays just a really bad Lex Luthor. He's more suited for, like, the Riddler. He actually wouldn't make a bad Riddler, but Lex Luthor? Like, this is not Lex Luthor at all. So he's just a really bad portrayal of Lex Luthor. So Luthor explains that Superman must face Batman in order to have his mom live. So yeah, Superman tries explaining the situation to Batman, but Batman doesn't back down and the fight begins. The fight itself is pretty good, but the motivations for Superman fighting is just not that good. Because, I mean, Superman is just fighting to have his mom saved, and Batman is fighting, because of what Superman did. And Superman's motivations are just, I mean, it's not really from his hate towards Batman, it's just saving his mom. So yeah, the motivations of this fight are just not what we really wanted to see from a Batman-Superman fight. But, I mean, nonetheless, it's still pretty well-filmed action, and overall, it's a pretty good fight. Before Batman's about to kill Superman, Superman urges Batman to save Martha. Why did you say that name? Which is the name of Batman's mother, but it's also the name of Superman's mother, so that's what Superman meant. And of course Lois Lane comes in and explains it, and Batman doesn't kill him. Like, I heard people say that it's because it reminded Batman of his parents' death, and I think that's a good reason, but it's just never really explained or flashbacked. Like, sure, there's a flashback scene before it's revealed to be Clark's mom, but there's no flashback when it actually happens. And when it doesn't happen, it doesn't have that emotional impact on me, or it doesn't have that reason for Batman not to kill Superman, because it's just not explained, or it's not flashbacked. So, I just really don't like how he just doesn't kill him there. So, yeah. Just wish they would have had, like, a flashback when it was revealed that, Superman's mom's name is, like, Martha. So Batman rescues Martha in an incredible scene that takes place in a warehouse. This is probably the best scene in the movie. Like, this warehouse fight is so badass. Like, it's just so well filmed, and just the entertainment level is just so high. It's just so amazing and awesome seeing Batman just kick ass. He plows down people, it's awesome. He just fights like a badass in this scene, and it's probably the best scene of the movie, seriously. But then Lex Luthor makes Doomsday by combining his DNA with General Zod's DNA. Isn't that a bit hypocritical that he hates Superman for his power, yet makes something even more powerful? Like, a bit hypocritical, wouldn't you say? So the movie shoehorns in this, like, final action scene with Batman and Superman, and eventually Wonder Woman who comes in. Yep, she read Bruce Wayne's email, so yeah. But it's an okay fight, and of course in the end Superman sacrifices himself to kill Doomsday, which, kind of foolish to kill Superman in 2 movies, wouldn't you say? Killing him in 2 movies? I'd say that's pretty foolish. But Batman confronts and arrested Lex Luthor in a pretty awesome and badass scene. It's just cool when Batman shows up at Lex Luthor's prison. It's just a pretty badass scene. So yeah, Superman and Clark Kent have a funeral, and dirt rises from his coffin, hinting his return. And they already announced Man of Steel 2, so it's like confirmed. So the movie ends there. So overall, I think Batman v Superman is a decent movie. It's not great, but it's decent. I mean, it has many flaws, but it also has a lot of amazingness too. I think the characters of this movie are, half and half. Some are good, some are bad. Superman, Lois, Lex Luthor, and kinda Doomsday are pretty bad characters, but Batman, Alfred, and a few other characters are just amazing. The plot of this movie is decent. I mean, I love Batman's motivations for fighting Superman, but like Superman's motivations are not so great. And I also like Lex manipulation, and I'm not sure about the whole Doomsday thing at the end though. Like, yeah, I'm not sure about that. So I love the tone of the movie. I just like the seriousness of the movie. Like, it just fits all the Batman scenes incredibly well with like the dark, serious tone. It really fits the Batman scenes. So yeah, but the movie can be too dark in its visuals at many times, not even in tone. Like, it can be too dark in its visuals. Because if some of the visuals just look really dirty and really, like, dark, and it's just not pleasant with your eyes. Like, Wonder Woman looks like they're doing a much better with the color grading. But yeah, but I think the effects are pretty good. I mean, sure, there's a lot of CGI at the end, but, I mean, I think the effects are pretty decent, I guess. So the action of this movie is freaking incredible. Like, all the action in this movie is amazing and so well filmed, especially Batman's action scenes. Like, the action in this movie is just, that's where they hit it spot on. The action is just incredible, it's badass. The soundtrack of this movie is pretty good. However, I do think Batman's theme is not all that amazing, but holy crap, Wonder Woman's theme is awesome. And I really hope they use it in the new Wonder Woman movie. If they don't, that's fine, but I just hope they do, because it's awesome, and I think a lot of people liked it. So Batman v Superman is a decent movie. It has downs, but it has a lot of ups. So I hope you enjoyed this in-depth review, and my next review will be on my favorite DCEU film, Suicide Squad. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.